Speaking of DC, let's switch over to TV for a second. The CW finally realizing that shows like The Vampire Diaries suck, but Arrow being good has decided that they probably should release more DC-centric shows into their lineup at night.
So was that, wait a minute, was that a pun for the whole Vampire Diaries sucking?
Yeah, it was. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Does it give you a sound effect?
Noticeable. It was kind of quick. I didn't have that chance to do the whole sound effect, but.
You know what? I'll just take an applause. Hit me with an applause. Yeah. So Vampire Diaries not doing so well. I mean, it is doing well because a lot of people like it, but I would like to think that it's not doing well because I hate it. So.
Well, what's funny is I don't think it's a bad show, but my biggest issue with it is they talk and build plot, and then they talk and build more plot, and then the story gets even more complex. And the episode happens where everything goes down, and it lasts for 10 minutes, and then it's more plot again. And it's all that building, and it's already over.
You know what I never got about it is they also live in this small town, right? And this is my main complaint with the show overall. Is there's some kind of super uber vampire coming to murder all of them, and it's Stefan's all Elena, you gotta get out of here. He's gonna kill us all, and she's like, I've got to plan prom, Stefan. I've got to plan prom. He can murder us all, but Stefan, we only graduate once. Bitch, you ain't gonna graduate at all if you fucking stick around. And they're all sitting there on prom or the day before prom, and this is our graduation, guys. Meanwhile, this 2 million-year-old vampire is in mist form, coming in to kill all of them. And when he gets there, he doesn't. He goes to fucking graduation and shit in a tux. I don't think this really happens. So if I got a lot of comments that never happened from everybody on their period out there, you fucking know it might. You know it might. And if you guys get a chance, and anybody gets a chance out there, watch Arrow. I'm about half a season in. I just started it 2 days ago. But I was really impressed by it. Characters are good, the villains are good. Who's ever writing these shows gets comic book TV. You know what I mean? Where Heroes failed, and it did fail. This show really takes it in a good direction. And they've launched the two shows that I focused on primarily, and I'm sure there are more, but the two ones that I was excited about most. One of which was a spin-off. It was started in Arrow, and it was The Flash. The Flash. Can't think of his name. I almost said Gordon Levitt Hewitt, but that's not the name of the Flash.
Wait a minute, the Flash is in Arrow?
Yeah, the Flash is in Arrow because Arrow is Green Arrow.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
This dude is the fastest man alive. The other dude shoots arrows at people. Shouldn't he just be running around slapping everyone down?
Well, he will. It's he in that show in Arrow he discovered his powers essentially. It introduces the origin stories of the Flash.
That city should have no crime. He just should be constantly running the streets smacking people.
Who, the Flash?
Yes.
Well, it's a comic book show, so it's not really realistic. Realistically, in that case, Superman should rule the world, right? Because there should be no crime that can hear you and laser your face off.
Speaking of which, that Goku Superman fight is pretty good.
Oh yeah, so we're not at your segment yet, AJ.
They introduced all these characters in Smallville. I don't know if you guys ever watched Smallville, but they had the Green Arrow, they had the Flash, they had Aquaman, they had everybody in Smallville.
Yeah, I don't have TV.
And, the other show that they're coming out with is Gotham, and it's a Batman show. But Batman, from what the directors and the producers have said, you won't see him to the very end of season 1. So it's an entire season of origin stories. Maybe people will get done in with the Batman origins because we've already had to sit through a few of them. And we know how he becomes Batman. We know his parents get ganked and he falls into a well and he's scared of bats as a kid and then he grows up and becomes a ninja that uses bats.
Yeah, it's kind of how many times can you redo the same story? And that's what my problem was with the Spider-Man movie too, because it was 5 years out and they made a new one. I'm why couldn't they wait 15 more years?
Yeah.
I went and saw that when it came out, and I remember the next day people were asking me if it was any good, and I said, how many times can you see Peter Parker's uncle get shot?
Well, apparently twice, at least.
At least twice.
I wasn't Charlie Martin Sheen his uncle this time?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd see our Martin Sheen get shot a lot because he's such a good actor.
Emilio Estevez. Or no,
Yeah.
no, not Emilio. It's what the fuck was he? What's his Estevez name?
Emilio Estevez, Charlie
No,
Estevez.
no. Martin Sheen. He has an Estevez name. What is it?
I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
Because each one of them is a Sheen and an Estevez. I just can't remember the name.
Jorge. Jorge Estevez. So, AJ, you were doing some pop culture research, and during this research, you stumbled across a pop culture discovery and a huge headline of Goku from Dragon Ball Z fighting Superman. Could you please tell us about that in detail?
Well, that's one thing. I did do some more research into actual pop culture, but no, it's a show on YouTube. I can't remember who hosts it, but they do all these different disputes with heroes and comic book people on verses, and they have a fan vote, and then they hatch it all together, and they show you who would win according to fan votes and everything. And they weighed in all the things with Goku and Superman, which is something I've always been interested in, because I've always debated who would win out of those two. I mean, it's never clear how powerful Superman is as far as power level goes, and it's never clear where Goku's power level stops and who could do what.
You know, we could have a huge pop culture discussion on Dragon Ball Z alone.
You definitely could. And
If you
Superman.
never wanted to get laid again.
Yeah. Now, I'm not really a big Superman fan. I know stuff about him, but like I learned a lot more watching that than I knew before about Superman. Like I didn't know that he could suck in the power from the sun and then have enough power to move a planet physically. That was pretty impressive.
Well, the whole deal with Superman was in the Golden Age, they gave him whatever power he needed to end the comic.
They mentioned that as well, and they said they wanted to use the Superman before then, because they said during that time he was pretty much just whatever they wanted to give him, they gave him.
Yeah.
But they did keep those other.
From a writing standpoint, how the hell do you get away with that?
Yeah, that was always the problem with Superman for me. I'm like, so he can do whatever he wants.
Omega Bro? What does Omega Bro do? Whatever Omega Bro wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's like when you're children and you're like, my laser power beats your eye beams. Yeah, well, my frost breath beats your speed attack. Yeah, you think you're better? Well, I can fly. Yeah, I can fly at supersonic speeds. I can do all of that. I think a fitting end for Superman would be to get shot with some kryptonite and put in like Crime Alley with a bunch of hobos with clubs. You know, you're beaten and robbed. Like they just find a naked Superman beaten. Looks like Joe Pesci from the end of Casino. Defeated Doomsday. Stood on par with the greatest supervillains. Died naked in Crime Alley.